All right, today's lesson 26. We're going to start reducing some fractions. We're also going to add and subtract some mixed numbers. Let's get started with the first example here. It says use your fraction manipulatives to reduce 2/6. I'm guessing most of you don't have them with you since you're at home. You're not carrying them around with you. Okay. Well, if you did, and I have 2/6 put together down here at the bottom, okay, what you'd be able to do is start stacking pieces on top and see what one matches up exactly with that. If you did that, you would see that the 1/3 piece is the same as 2/6. Now, if you don't have it, there's a way to figure this out. Okay. We're going to start with the easiest way to reduce fractions, and that's to see if the top and bottom, if the numerator and denominator are both even. We know that we can divide both of them by 2. So I'm going to divide both the top by 2 and the bottom by 2, and I'll get my 1/3. I know that's reduced because there's a 1 at the top, and if there's a 1 at the top, that can't be reduced, our fraction's reduced. Okay. So in this case, 2/6 is going to be the same as 1/3. Looking at the next example, it says 2/3 of a circle is what percent of a circle? If you have your fraction manipulatives, you can see that they have the percents on there. Well, I don't have the 1/3 one on here, and I know that it's 33 1/3%, but you might not. And if you have them with, you see it's 33 1/3%. We can add the two together. Mr. Lehman, I don't know how to add mixed numbers yet. Well, first example right here. All we're going to do, we're going to add our fractions up, and then we're going to add our whole numbers up. In this case, our fractions have a common denominator. Real easy. 1/3 plus 1/3. Bottom number is going to stay the same. Top number, add 1 plus 1, you get 2. Now, all we need to do is add up our whole numbers. I get 66. So it's going to be 66 2/3%. Now, Mr. Lehman, I don't have my fraction manipulatives. I don't know what the percents are. Well, remember, we can do 2/3 of 100, because the circle is 100%. Okay. I'm going to start by doing the multiplication. So 100 times 2 is 200. And now 200 divided by 3. 3 goes into 26 times. 3 goes into 26 times. And now put my remainder in a fraction, add the percent sign, get the same thing, 66 2/3%. So remember, if we're talking about percent, it's of 100, so we're just going to multiply our fraction times 100. Next example says 2/6 of a circle is what percent of a circle? Well, I have the 2/6 here. I can see I can do 16 2/3 plus 16 2/3. Okay. Now, when I add up 2/3 plus 2/3, my denominator stays the same. Get 4 on the top. Add up my whole numbers. I'll get 32. So 32 4/3. Now, 4/3 is an improper fraction. Okay. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take 1 out of there and put it into our whole number. Well, since it's in thirds, 1 is going to equal 3/3. Remember, if we have a number over itself, it's going to be equal to 1. So what we're going to do is pull 3/3 out of that fraction. If I do 4/3 minus 3/3, I'm going to get 1/3. So now I have 1/3 left. I'm going to add 1 to my whole number. So 32 4/3 is going to equal 33 1/3, and that's percent. Now, Mr. Lehman, I don't have my fraction manipulatives. Well, remember that we can multiply our fraction times 100. So I have 2/6 times 100. Okay, once again, I'm going to do my multiplication first. Get 200. 200 divided by 6. Is in there 3. My remainder is 2. I'm going to put 33 and 2/6. I need to reduce that, and I did that up here. So my answer is going to be my 33 1/3%. Next example, Rory lives 2 3/4 miles from school. He rode his bike from home to school and back to home. How far did Rory ride? Well, one way was 2 3/4 miles. And then coming back was 2 3/4 more miles. So we're going to need to add them together. So my denominator is the same here. So it's going to stay the same down here. Add the two top numbers. 3 plus 3 is 6. Now I work on my whole numbers. That's 4. So I have 4 and 6/4. Well, 6/4 is an improper fraction. So to get it back to normal fraction, we can either take 1 out like we did on that earlier problem, which 1 would be equal to 4/4 here. Or if I forget that, I can always do a 6 divided by 4 because that fraction bar is the same as a division sign. What's going to go in there? 1 and 2/4 times. Now I need to reduce this to 1 1/2. Okay? So that's going to make this, my fraction will end up being 1/2, and I've got to take that 1 and add it to this 4 to make it 5. It's going to be 5 and 1/2. Now some subtraction with mixed numbers. I have 5 and 3/8 minus 1 and 1/8. Common denominator, that's just going to go on the bottom. 3 minus 1 is 2. Do my whole numbers, 5 minus 1 is 4. 2/8, top number's even, bottom number's even. I know I can reduce that by dividing by 2. Okay? So 2 divided by 2 is 1, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So my answer is going to be 4 from my whole number here. I'm going to bring down my new fraction, 1/4. My answer would be 4 and 1/4. So remember, when adding and subtracting mixed numbers, deal with the fraction first, get that done with, and then go to the whole numbers. They stay separated in this case. Go ahead and do the practice set for class. You can skip letter I. So you do A through H. You can skip letter I and bring it to class, and we'll go through it and answer any questions that you may have.